Good morning, invite to the stage. Dr. Asir, please join us on the stage. And Dr. Minasai Chico. Dr. Minasai Chico. Please kindly take a seat here. Dr. Jetri Oyeji. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, to action. The food we consume, the nutrients we provide our bodies, and how we nourish our children. It determines not just our health, but the future of our generation. Especially those for mothers, infants, and young children. A well-nourished mother gives birth to a healthier baby, and a healthy baby grows into a child ready to learn, thrive, and contribute to the society. And that is why the theme for the 55th Scientific Conference and General Meeting is so vital. Advancing maternal, infant, and young child nutrition in Nigeria. Innovation and strategic partnership for sustainable. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Leslie Ojo, and I will be your host for today's this important event is to explore innovations, partnerships, and strategies that shape the future for maternal, infant, and young children in Nigeria. So please permit me to recognize our distinguished guests in order of the report. The President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the Vice President, represented by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Public Health, Dr. Uju Rojas, the sole Administrator, Vice Admiral Retired Ibok Ete Ekwegas, represented by Chitu G. Olubene, who is also represented by the Permanent Secretary of Office of Health, Dr. Vincent. Also, to Commissioners present, and please let's give them a warm round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Also, his Chairman, Board of Trustees of the Nutrition Society of Nigeria, His Highness Khalifa Sanusi II, PhD, CEO, and welcome, sir. You're welcome. You're highly welcome, sir. Also, let's welcome the President of the Food Nutrition Society of Nigeria and immediate Vice President. But let's welcome Mrs. Sanusi Lamido II. A round of applause for him, please. All right, let me make some correction. That is Professor Sanusi Lamido II. Thank you very much, sir. We also want to welcome our keynote speakers, Professor Emir of Kano. Please, a round of applause for her. Our keynote speakers, thank you very much. Members and students of the Nutrition Society of Nigeria, please give yourself a round of applause. Give yourself a round of applause for Tina. Please let's give her a round of applause. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you very much. So ladies and gentlemen, please can we stand to our feet as we take our national anthem. let's take our seats. Thank you very much. God bless our dear nation, Nigeria. The President of the Nutrition Society of Nigeria, Professor S.M. Abubakar. Please, a warm round of applause for the President of the Nutrition Society of Nigeria for his opening remark.
Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Patrick Shotima, DCOM, ably represented by the Senior Special Advisor in Public Health, Mrs Ojo, Dr. Samuka, the Honorable Minister of Health and Social Welfare, ably represented by the Director of Nutrition, Federal Minister of Health and Social Welfare, the Coordinating Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, ably represented by the Head and Director of Nutrition, Federal Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, represented by the Director of Food and Nutrition of the Ministry, pardon me, the Chair of the occasion, Today past Honorable Commissioner of Health of the River State, you are present. And to say, please not for the last, but be the best. Our Father, our Chair of the Board of Trustee of the Nutrition Society of Nigeria, who found it worthy and necessary to be with us today, His Highness, Dr. Khalifa Sanusi II, the Emir of Kano, Your Highness Nabudia, Allah Kara Sosulakia, Allah Jazamani, Allah Kari Bikam Bitina, Allah Kari Bikam Shari, Allah Jazamani Martaba. We sincerely appreciate all that effort that you are putting in addressing issues of malnutrition in Nigeria. Now, standing here, of course, is also recognize our elders in the society, in addition to all these dignitaries that are seated on the high table. Our keynote speaker, elder scholar, Professor Etienne Obon. Our first Emir, SAT, who is the chair of the Council of Traditional Leaders of the southern part of Nigeria, and also chairing the Christian traditional leaders in the country. We appreciate your presence. We sincerely appreciate your being with us to see His Highness from the airport and being here with us today. Our fellows of the society, members of the Board of Trustees that are here present, and those who are on good cause are absent. Our respected council members, the members of the society, the students that are here, good morning this morning. For the benefit of time, I will not go through the address as it is written in the book. I'm sure we have a book of program containing my address. I will just summarize those 3 pages to say that on behalf of the Executive Council of Nutrition Society, we are missing. We are having a big gap. But there are a lot of interventions that are evidence-based to address the issue of malnutrition. But then most of them are completed in isolation by different agencies, also by different partners, etc. So that's why this thing is very apt. The fight we are trying to win against malnutrition in Nigeria. So the society acknowledges the support and commitment of all those that are supporting the cause of nutrition in Nigeria, especially the federal government's efforts. Permitting me to mention that currently the excellence of support initiative, nutrition service of the federal government, led by His Excellency the Vice President of Nigeria, which is a product of National Council on Nutrition, has already been getting a lot of acceptance across the country. It is very important to note that initiative has shown to be very promising initiative that once we are able to implement to the left, we'll be able to address most of the pressing issues of malnutrition. We appreciate the state and local government activities that are made toward addressing malnutrition. Most of the local governments now in some states already have their committees on food and nutrition. The private sector deserves recognition, require the engagement heavily of the private sector because of the need for the premixes that are supposed to go into the fortification or the supplement that are used for interventions to address, especially micronutrient deficiencies in the country. The private sector has been very, very interested. So our leaders, traditional leaders, individuals and community leaders with utilities, so must recognize their efforts and also appreciate what they've been doing. I'm very proud of our chairman board of trustees. He has been leading in that cause. In Kano, we know now that he has established Kano Development Committee on Health and Human Development, engaging in activities towards addressing malaria to see how he can establish a structure that will lead him to know on a daily basis what happens with mothers and children. The whole structure that is there, which has gone to the household because we have the ward heads dealing directly with the heads of household and going up to that level of His Highness. So the Highness is sincerely appreciating this effort. And I think it's a model that can be adopted by many. For the benefit of time, I want to say that we want to sincerely appreciate all our partners who have supported us in this cause, and especially the members of the Central Organizing Committee. I don't want to mention all the partners, numerous mentioned. The special mention can be of UNICEF Nigeria. We sincerely appreciate the support of UNICEF. The Expert Solutions, the GAIN, Global Alliance for Improved Nutrition, the Nutrition International. To mention just a few, for the sake of time, we appreciate all of our supporters that have been also here with us today because of the main presentation of what they have been in the country. Our chair of the Central Organizing Committee, who has been up and down, that's what at least I did with my protocol. Professor Nzago, where is she now? Thank you very much for all that you have been doing. We appreciate you and the members of the Nutrition Society in Nigeria who have, after our last conference in Kano, decided to say they want to host us here. We appreciate you from the chairperson to the secretary to all members of the state. Distinguished guests, colleagues, this year's lesson conference team is highly relevant and margin, as it also presents us to think critically about the piece of our nation's nutrition landscape, while drawing our inspiration from innovations and partnerships. We are expected to already be putting what we have been increasing into action. So let us use this platform that we have to share knowledge, strengthen our partnerships, and commit to our own actions that will transform nutrition outcomes in Nigeria. And with this, I ask us all to think beyond scientific presentation to panel discussion or any technical session that will be presented. Let us commit to translating all the knowledge that we are going to be shared, and so that we now take concrete actions that will let us live in Harcourt with new commitments and practical solutions that will ensure optimal nutrition and health of all Nigerians. And together we can build a healthier and stronger and more prosperous nation. With these two words, I want to welcome you once again to the 5th Annual Scientific Conference and General Meeting of Nutrition Society of Nigeria. I wish us fruitful deliberations and memorable stay in the beautiful city of Harcourt. Thank you, God bless Nigeria.
All of those who made for you, thank you very much, Professor, for that amazing speech. Alright, please, we want to recognize, first of all, I want to apologize to His Royal Majesty. Please, ladies and gentlemen, let's give a warm round of applause to His Royal Majesty Ambassador Leslie, aka PhD, DCA, the Eze or every third of every kingdom. Please let's give a round of applause. We're welcome His Royal Majesty this morning. The representative of the Minister of National Health, Director of Nutrition and Ministry, Mrs. Lamidi Bako Ayesh, MNR. Please, let's give her one round of applause. All right. We also want to represent the Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Director of Nutrition and Food Safety, Alhaji Nuhu Adamu Kilishi. Please let's give a warm round of applause and I welcome. We also want to recognize the National President, Medical Women's Association of Nigeria, Dr. Zainab Waru Muhammad Idris. Please, if you're here now, please could you come to the front row? We would like you to seat the first four rows. Please, thank you very much for your high presence this morning. The Ministry of Health, Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Budgets and Economic Planning. We want to say you're highly welcome. And to the agency, Primary Healthcare Development Agency, please a round of applause for the agency. We have the Global Alliance for Improved Nutrition, Helen Keller International Nutrition, Internet Health and Social Welfare, Aliko Dangote Foundation, the NDDI, Evidence for Nutrition in Expert Solutions, the Sun CSA Nigeria, and the River State Primary Healthcare Management Board. Please a round of applause for all our major partners this morning. You're highly welcome. Thank you very much. All right, so we want to move ahead with the event. Adeze Chidima Honorable Indian Past Honorable Commissioner of Health, River State. You're welcome, ma'am. Thank you very much.
His Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Kashim Shetima, Commander of the Order of the Niger, ably represented by Mrs Ojo Rocha Samarkand, Senior Special Assistant to the President on Public Health. The representative of the Honorable Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Mrs. Ladidi Bako Ayegushi MNI, Director and Head of Nutrition at the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare. Madam, permit me to use this opportunity to congratulate you personally on your recent Time Person of the Year Award for nutrition. The representative of the Honorable Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Senator Abubakar Tiku Bagu, Commander of the Order of the Niger, ably represented by Mrs. Clementina Okoro. You're welcome. The Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abubakar Kiari, Commander of the Order of the Niger, ably represented by Alhaji Nuhu Adamu Kilishi, Director and Head of Nutrition at the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security. The guest of honor, ably represented by the Permanent Secretary of the River State Ministry of Health, ably represented by the Director of Health Planning, Research and Statistics, Dr. Julian Darlington Moke. The Chairman of the Board of Trustees of the Nutrition Society of Nigeria, His Highness, Dr. Khalifa Sanusi II, PhD, Commander of the Order of the Niger, and Emir of Kano. You are welcome, Your Highness. The Chairman of the Southern Religious and Traditional Rulers Engagement, His Majesty King Leslie N.A.K. J.P. Ezoka Ego, III of Ego Kingdom, Yerisheli Inoju, Eze Oji the 12th, and Eze Baka here in River State. Your Royal Majesty, you're welcome. The President of the Nutrition Society of Nigeria, Professor Salisu Wada Abubakar, Fellow of the Nutrition Society of Nigeria, congratulations. The keynote speaker for today, Professor Henrietta Enelbo, Fellow of the Nutrition Society of Nigeria, esteemed partners of the Society, awardees for today's opening ceremony, the local organizing committee, fellows of the Nutrition Society of Nigeria, nutrition practitioners and advocates, students, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. It is with great pleasure that I welcome you all to the vibrant city of Port Harcourt here in River State. The theme for this year's annual General Scientific Meeting, Advancing Maternal, Infant and Young Child Nutrition in Nigeria, Innovations and Strategic Partnerships for Sustainable Impact, is timely and essential for addressing the bane of malnutrition in Nigeria. This holistic approach to addressing nutrition is critical for achieving sustainable improvement in our country's nutrition outcomes. I would like to extend my commendations to the organizers of this conference, the distinguished speakers who will be sharing their insights, and all participants for their dedication to advancing the nutrition agenda. Your commitment to this cause is commendable and inspires hope for a healthier and a more sustainable future. Adopting this integrated approach, we can better ensure more accessible and available treatment and prevention of malnutrition amongst mothers, infants, and young children across the 3 tiers of healthcare and across communities in our beloved country. We will also enhance food security through boosted local food production, enhance the expertise of our health workers, parents, and communities in addressing nutrition, and improve the overall well-being of our communities. In recent years, we have witnessed escalating inflation, food insecurity, inadequate healthcare infrastructure, security challenges, and disease outbreaks that have been worsened by low vaccine coverage. With recent international funding cuts, these have led to what has become one of Nigeria's worst nutrition emergencies in decades. Sustainable development is the bedrock of progress and prosperity, and by fostering collaborations between nutritionists, healthcare providers, researchers, farmers, manufacturers, supply chain specialists, policy makers, development partners, and communities, we can together synergistically tackle malnutrition and create a more sustainable and equitable future for all. River State is known for its rich cultural heritage and economic significance, and is the ideal venue for this year's conference. As a city, Port Harcourt has experienced both the benefits and challenges of development and stands as a testament to the need for sustainable practices and innovative solutions in ensuring that with regards to advancing nutrition, no one is left behind. The government of His Excellency Sir Siminalayi Mubarak, Grand Service Star of River State, demonstrated sound commitment to supporting initiatives that improve nutrition of mothers, infants, and young children, promote health, improve child development, and boost economic growth. The administration intentionally invested in nutrition initiatives such as the establishment of integrated management of acute malnutrition sites in designated primary healthcare centers and general hospitals across the 3 senatorial districts of River State. Active case search of cases of malnutrition, inclusion of budget lines for nutrition for a sustained pipeline of annual funding for nutrition initiatives and programs, and the approval of the domesticated River State multi-sectoral plan of action for food and nutrition. These, in future, will be assiduously supported in upholding the vision of of the federal government's Nutrition 774 initiative for the benefit of the people of River State. As we embark on this conference, I urge each and every one of you to actively engage in discussions, share your knowledge and your experiences, collaborate on actionable solutions. Let us seize this opportunity to forge new partnerships, develop innovative strategies, and commit to a future where prevalent malnutrition becomes a thing of the past, relegated to the annals of the textbooks and history books, and one where health and sustainability are at the forefront of national development. Together, collectively, strategically, and collaboratively, we can create a legacy of progress and well-being for generations to come. Let us work tirelessly to build a healthier, more sustainable, and prosperous nation. In closing, I once again welcome you all to River State and to this significant gathering. May our deliberations be fruitful, our collaborations be strong, and our commitment to advancing maternal, infant, and young child nutrition in Nigeria be unrelenting. It is therefore my singular honor and pleasure to declare this 55th Scientific Conference of the Nutrition Society of Nigeria open. I wish you all a successful and a transformational conference. May God bless us all.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you very much, Dr. Adeze. Thank you very much, ma'am. As we go on in the event, I would like to recognize some important personnel in our midst. The University of Port Harcourt Teaching Hospital, a strong advocate for infant and mental nutrition. A round of applause, please. The representative and Secretary of River State Family Health Care Management Board, Dr. Carol Joseph. Please, a warm round of applause to recognize the presence of an amazing agency, the Director General NAFTA, represented by Mrs. Eva Edward, Director Food Safety and Applied Nutrition. Thank you very much. You're highly welcome, ladies and gentlemen. If your hands are not too easy, let's welcome His Highness Khalifa Sanusi II, PhD, CON, the Emir of Kano. Please a warm round of applause for him. Thank you very much. You're highly welcome, sir.
Please. Thank you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I guess and let me thank you for your contributions to nutrition as Commissioner. Your Excellency, the Vice President, Senator Kashi Shetima, ably represented here by my sister Ojo Anastasia Rochas, Your Majesty, the President of the Society of Nigeria, the keynote speaker, fellows, members, student members, nutritionists, representatives of ministries, permit me to stand on already established protocols. It is both a privilege and a personal joy for me to join you today at this landmark 55th Annual Scientific Conference. As Chairman, Board of Trustees of the Nutrition Society of Nigeria, I am proud to witness the Society's steady growth, professionalism, and enduring commitment to advancing the nutrition agenda in our esteem. advancing maternal, infant, and young child nutrition in Nigeria, strategic partnerships for sustainable impact, resonates strongly with the challenges and opportunities. We all know that investing in women and children, particularly in the first 1,000 days from conception to a child's second birthday, is one of the highest return investments any nation can make. Science is unequivocal. Well-nourished children are more likely to complete school, enter the workforce, and contribute meaningfully to it. Well-nourished mothers are more resilient, productive, and able to care for their families whilst participating in Nigeria. This means scaling up interventions such as micronutrient supplementation, optimal breastfeeding and complementary feeding, maternal nutrition support during pregnancy and lactation, and frontline counseling amongst a host of other critical interests in food systems that make diverse, safe, and affordable diets accessible to all, and social protection systems that safeguard household incomes and livelihoods while ensuring food security. Promote social and gender norms that shape how household income is appropriated, how food is produced, prepared and shared within households, and how environments are managed and sourced and provided. Yet we are confronted by headwinds that challenge progress, leading to stagnation, and in some cases, regression in outcomes. Despite notable investments and momentum, Nigeria's maternal, infant, and young child nutrition indicators reveal that we are far from where we need to be. The exclusive breastfeeding rate remains stagnant at just 29%. Far below the global target of 70% by 20%. 60% of children under 5 and nearly 50% of women of reproductive age suffer from anemia. Stunting affects 40% of under 5 children nationally in certain regions, and wasting still persists in pockets of the country. These statistics paint a sobering picture, one that reminds us that progress in policy must translate into progress in people's lives. At the same time, Nigeria's growing momentum in analytics and analytic investments to the revival of the National Council on Nutrition in 2019, of which I became an inaugural member under the leadership of Vice President Emir of Kano State. And amongst these real and measurable strides, we recorded the creation of nutrition departments in key ministries following the presidential executive order, a national pivot from wasting to an expanded focus that included stunting prevention, anchored by the rollout of the nutrition and micronutrient survey conducted after a 20-year hiatus, reforms in public financial management to enhance budget visibility and finance and central coordination, most notably through the NMPFAN, which our then council endorsed and approved. Not to highlight the UNRWA project, which specifically reached over 13 million mothers and children, including in Kano.
I should add Uju here, who is a recent comer, who has been very, very active and visible in this space. And when I look at the list, I hope we'll see gender parity in nutrition leadership too. They're all women, apart from one. We need some more men to participate in this. The leadership has exemplified what partnerships between institutions such as the World Bank, the Economic Foundation, UNICEF and national governments can yield. Strategic multi-sectoral system thinking that supports national agendas. While it is important to recognize how far we've come, this conference has also sharpened our collective focus on the structural levers that will define impact at scale. I hope that in the days ahead,
the gathering will explore the real policy frontiers. How can we close the gap between food availability and actual dietary intake among young children? What social norms need to be promoted to improve maternal, infant, and child nutrition? What delivery systems and incentives best support multi-sectoral collaboration at all levels? How do we attract and retain technical talent as human resources for maternal, infant, and young child nutrition? How do we ensure our investments reflect the needs and lived realities of adolescent girls, pregnant women, and caregivers across Nigeria? These are the fundamentals that will determine whether our progress is sustained and whether nutrition truly transforms futures. As we strive to improve maternal, infant, young child nutrition, allow me to highlight something I continue to personally champion: a management information system for real-time dynamic maternal data that goes beyond rapidity statistics or static reports. I think the President mentioned this, and maybe I should explain this a little, and this is something that we all have to think about. So, every year I receive these reports. We produce these reports on malnutrition in Nigeria. And it's really okay. Kano State has 50% or 58% or 60% malnourished. And every year the numbers just get worse and worse. Children will be malnourished and will not. When you can see this, a lot of them are spending a lot of money on school feeding. And so it is another. But to be honest, by the time a child is 6 students, we do not catch those children. You need to catch the child when the woman is pregnant. And I tell you, myself is, where are we when the woman conceives? Until you know where a pregnant woman is, and give her nutrition while pregnant. Until you know when the baby is born, and until you're there to make sure that that baby gets nutrition, you will continue counting malnourished children because you were not there when they needed it. Now, how do we do that? We need data. And what we're trying to do in Kano, and I will say Professor Salis on his team, and not tell you about progress. If we have agents and I have the data, I need to know every day how many babies are born and where, and under which ward head they are, under which village head, under which district head, until the community gathers around women when they get pregnant and when they give birth. Those children are not going to get the care in the first 1,000 years. And so this investment in this information system for me is going to be the main game changer. The reason we cannot deal with malnutrition is we are not there when we are needed. We are not there when the woman is pregnant. We are not there when the child is born. We are only there after the child is malnourished, and then we start counting and giving statistics. So translating policy will require this hard work and this level of thinking. And this is what the President was talking about. And I mean a system that tells us where our pregnant women are, what services they have for how to seek, their socio-economic context, and the risks that they face. Such a system will not only anticipate needs, it will track service delivery, inform policy, and ultimately save lives. If the nutrition journey begins at conception, then our collective future depends on our ability to plan, respond, and intervene with precision. Data is not just a tool, it is a lifeline. I commend the Executive Committee, the Planning Committee, and all partners for creating a platform that speaks not only to physical progress, but also to collaboration and partnerships. Nigeria stands at a crucial juncture in its nutrition journey, with the policy space evolving and institutional reforms gaining ground. In this moment, it is essential that we bring sharp focus to maternal, infant, and young child nutrition, not just as a health issue, but as a cornerstone of our national development.
Please, let me send our please. Thank you very much, sir. His Highness Khalifa Sanusi II. Thank you very much. You know, the words like, ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. Thank you very much. You know, words like that don't just end, they end. Dr. Chika Isabel Idowu for the citation of the keynote speaker. Dr. Chika, please. Thank you.
Representative of the Vice President of Nigeria, the Chairman of the POT of NSN, the eminent traditional ruler, the President, NSN, permit me to stand on existing protocol. It is my honor and pleasure to read the citation of this eminent lady, who is going to be the keynote speaker, Professor Harriet. Harriet is a professor of human anthropological nutrition, the pioneer and immediate past head, Department of Human Nutrition and Dietetics, University of Calabar, Nigeria. She obtained her MSc and PhD in Human Nutrition in 1984 and 1992 respectively from the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, where she started an academic career before transferring her service to the University of Calabar in 2010. As part of her PhD program, Professor Enebong obtained the third World Academy of Science Fellowship Award and underwent a practical training in food analysis, bioavailability and digestibility studies at the National Institute of Nutrition in Rome in 2011. She completed the International Graduate Course on the production and use of food composition data in nutrition in Pretoria, South Africa. Professor Harriet is a fellow of the Nutrition Society of Nigeria, as well as a fellow of the Nigerian Academy of Science. She is also an ambassador of the Dietitians Association of Nigeria and a fellow of the Institute for Dietetics in Nigeria. She is the current coordinator of the African Network of Food Data Systems, which is the regional data center of FAO, International Network of Food Data Systems in Foods, a position she has held since 2012. She also co-authored the West African Food Composition Table in 2012 and was also involved in the update of the same table released in 2011. In collaboration with FAO and Foods, she participated in the preparation of guidelines for checking composition of data prior to publication of a user tables through database. In Nigeria, she was involved in the documentation of the traditional food systems of the Igbo cultural area and a major facilitator for the compilation of Nigerian food composition tables through database, which was launched in the year 2017. Professor Noble has such a robust work credits that if I read out everything, we may have to stay longer here. But suffice it to say that she has served and consulted for various national and international organizations. She was a one-time editor-in-chief of the Nigerian Journal of Nutritional Sciences, a member of the Technical Advisory Group of the Tertiary Education Trust Fund of Book Development Program in Nigeria, and a convener of the journal publication of the committee of the time. She participated in the Nigerian Journal of Nutritional Sciences and ensured that the journal received substantial funding during her tenure as a convener of the journal subcommittee of the time. Professor Nebo played an active role in the just concluded National Food Consumption a micronutrient survey, and she was also the coordinator of the South geopolitical zone during the pre-survey activities, a member of the technical advisory committee, co-principal investigator for National Food Consumption and Micronutrient Survey, and a member of the committee for setting menu standards for Nigerian homegrown school feeding program. She was involved in the review of the 2016-2025 National Policy on Food and Nutrition, participated in the validation of the National Social Behavior Chain Training Package of Nutrition across the life cycle, and this was developed in collaboration with the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare, documentation and use, maternal, infant and child nutrition, adolescent nutrition and health. She has been involved in several recent projects and has acted as principal investigator or co-investigator to several national and international investigators on a project titled Aquaculture, funded by Bill and Melinda Gates with several children and grandchildren. And her devout Christian life has rubbed off on one of our children, who is, I'm sure she don't want me to say this, who is Pastor Dr. Eno Jerry. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you the keynote address speaker, Professor Mende Enebo. Thank you very much.
Thank you for that. I don't know what to say. Thank you. And I've already been warned about time. So I want to beg the chairman of the occasion and Your Highness that I will just stand on the existing protocol. It's very long, and if I follow it, then they will drive me out from this place. The topic we are dealing with is the theme of the conference, which is advancing maternal, infant, and young child nutrition in Nigeria. And as I sat here since morning, it's like what I'm going to say or what I wanted to say has already been said. So I'll just rush through what I have to save time. And I want to say, the first thing I want to say is that I'm happy and I'm honored to stand before all of you. I want to thank God for this privilege. I don't take it for granted because I know that there are many people here who could also do what I'm trying to do. So I want to thank the President of the Nutrition Society and the Council and all the elders, fellows for making it possible for me to stand before you. So why are we talking of mother, infant, and young child nutrition? The Holy Book says, if the foundation be destroyed, what will the righteous do? So that is actually the foundation of life. And so we need to be very, very serious, because if we don't do anything decisively at this particular time, like the Highness said, we are not there when the thing starts. So we want to see how we can start, see them when we really need to see them and stop whatever. So that is why we are looking at this particular topic. And we know that the topic we are dealing with is not just a health issue, it's a development issue, it's an economic issue, and it's a social justice issue. Social justice in the sense that adequate nutrition is a right, it's not a privilege. And it's like Nigeria, we are taking it as a privilege, but it's not. It is something that we must learn to deal with. So what is the current situation? We know that Nigeria is still battling with malnutrition. And hunger, there's a lot of hunger in the land. There is insecurity, food insecurity, there's malnutrition. In all its form, undernutrition, overnutrition, and overnutrition. We all here are nutritionists and we know this. And then if you take the next slide, that is just the one that if you look at, it tells you a lot of story just looking at this picture. Thanks to Dr. Francis who shared it on the fellows. Change these statistics. So, also micronutrient deficiency. The National Food Consumption and Micronutrient Survey has given us up-to-date data on children 6 to 59 months, for adolescents 10 to 14, and also for women, pregnant women. And from the study, you can see that a folate deficiency is a problem, but a serum vitamin A is still a problem, zinc is a problem. Folate deficiency is all over, but zinc and vitamin A, you find it more among the lower powerhouse, very common still with us. So what has been done? You see that I'm not doing any more, and they will mention. I'm not going to go into their details, but I'll just mention each of them and we go along. So we already have a national policy on food and nutrition. Even though that policy should be coming to an end by this year, thank God that there is a review. But we have a national policy, so we don't have problem with policy. Not only that, we have a multi-sectoral plan of action, so it is there. We also have, and this multi-sectoral plan of action tells us what to do and how to do them, and what we are aiming at. For example, that by this year, we should be having exclusive up to 65%, and also we should have reduced something to 18%. But you all know where we are. Then we have the collaboration. All of us here, most of us here are from different MBAs, academia, civil society organizations. So we have collaboration. It's already there. We also have the committees of food and nutrition at the federal, and the state, and the local government level. So there are already structures in place for us to do what we are supposed to do. Then we have food fortification. We have mandatory food fortification. These are projects that have worked in other countries in order to reduce malnutrition. We have biofortification. Orange fleshy potato, we have cassava, we have seeds that have been fortified. So we have done a lot has been done by the people of mothers, children, and may our work here in Port Harcourt inspire not only our minds but also our action in the months and years to come. Thank you very much.
Presentation. As a come-up, the distinguished members of the Trustee of Nigeria, we would like to recognize and appreciate some members of the society who have worked tirelessly to see to the growth and development of nutrition in Nigeria. So, ladies and gentlemen, please, as I call their name, I would like us to please continue to put our hands together for them and to recognize them. So, we would like to recognize the past presidents of Nutrition Society of Nigeria, present here today. Number one is Professor Tola Atimo. Let's dance together for him. He's a life member, past president, a member of the NSM Board of Trustees. Mrs. Beatrice Iguana, please put your hands together for her. Also, a life member, past president, Professor Ignatius A. Onimaro. Fellow, past president, member the BOT, and the vice chancellor of the Maria University, Abuja. Let's start together for me. In our midst today, we also have Professor Ngozi Nnaha. Please, you can give a hand. Fellow INS, past president, NSM, immediate past president, Manus, member IUS Council. Put them together for now. Okay, in our midst, Professor B. Isaac Bright, also a lecturer for digital economy, science and technology. Professor Wasiu Afolabi, the immediate past president, the Federal Education Center of Nigeria. You are all thank you very much. So let's welcome the Elekela International.
I see my colleagues to present the results of one of our works in Northeast Nigeria, precisely in Fufure local government. And we titled the work, Empowering Women to Build Resilient Communities, Women-Led Nutrition and Livelihood in Fufure LG. I'll be introducing the state coordinator in person of Donna Elbe to lead us in the presentation, and our M&E Regional African Lead, Kingsley Azu, will also support her in the presentation. Thank you.
Just quickly do a background on Elekela and the work we do in Nigeria. Next slide, please. Over 13 states in Nigeria where we cover different projects. One of our flagship projects is the Bullion Fortification Project. This is a national project that looks at stakeholders using bullion as a tool to drive nutrition in Nigeria. Then we also have the neglected tropical disease project, Katsina, Adamawa, Akwa Ibom, and Cross River State. And then they also manage crises historically happening in Adamawa State, Katsina, Akwa Ibom, Ebonyi, Sokoto, and Kemba supplementation projects, where we support the state government in distributing vitamin A to children 6 to 59 months. This is happening also in Adamawa, Taraba, Benue, Nasarawa, FCT, and Ebonyi State. We also have the life-saving nutrition project, which looks at identifying malnourished children in communities and also providing interventions to share some of the results with you, which is improving nutrition and food security for IDPs. This is happening in Fufure, LG, and to give us a background of this project in Fufure and our state.
In line with the existing protocol, I'm going to be presenting on the promoting nutrition, food security, and economic resilience among IDPs and host communities in Fufure, LG of Adamawa State in Nigeria. Next slide, please. Okay, next slide. Okay, so as we are aware, in Northeast Nigeria, food security and malnutrition remain persistent and challenging, especially among the internally displaced persons who are already Elekela has implemented a nutrition, food security, and livelihood intervention in Fufure LGA, targeting women and the 5 children, adolescents, and the host community in Fufure LGA of Adamawa State. And the goal of the project is to improve nutrition, food security, and livelihood, as well as resilience of the internally displaced intervention. It was to improve their nutrition knowledge and practices through social behavioral change communication and essential nutrition action and essential hygiene action. And also to ensure household food security through setting production and access to agricultural inputs, and to also increase women financial autonomy and resilience through village saving and loan association, as well as income generating activities. And lastly, to also establish a graduation framework to ensure sustainability beyond the support of
Your Royal Highness for the privilege, we are grateful. And to the audience, we are also very much available. If there are questions and clarifications and learnings that the Elekela can share, we are much available from now to the end of the conference. And furthermore, we'll share our contacts to see how we can have further discussion.
Thank you very much. I want to say a big thank you to everyone because we are learning today. It's very good. I'm very honored to be seated here to hear what we have, fostering the collaboration between nutrition and technology and innovation. Please a round of applause for yourselves and a round of applause for Elekela here. Thank you very much, Elekela. As we go on with the event this afternoon, I want to apologize, ladies and gentlemen. The reason why Helen Keller had to speak first, because the Emir of Kano wanted to hear what they have to say. And that's why there was a little bit of change in our menu. So today we're going to continue from where we stopped. Alright? I want to recognize some great men and women in our midst. The organization's name, please could you stand up? Or if you have a representative from that organization for their goodwill message. UNICEF. Please, we have UNICEF here. A round of applause. Thank you very much. We have UNICEF here present. DRPC. DREARN, GAIN. We have a representative from GAIN. Thank you very much, ma'am. We have you welcome. We have a representative. Thank you very much. I see you. RSHCE. RSHCE. Do we have representatives from RSHCE? A round of applause for them. Thank you very much. A big continue on the event. We want to welcome Honorable Deacon Chike Okafo, the Chairman, House Committee on Nutrition and Food Security for the Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Muhammad Alipate. Please a warm round of applause for him. The CON, Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare. She's coming. Please let's keep clapping as she gets her way here.
Represented by the Senior Social Advisor, Your Highness and Chairman Board of Trustee. Good afternoon. I want to kindly request that I be permitted to abide by the established protocol. I'm here representing the Coordinating Minister for Health and Social Welfare, Professor Muhammad Alipate, CON. I am Ladidi Kuduabakwai, CMNI, Director and Head Nutrition of the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare. The Minister extends his heartfelt appreciation to the leadership and members of the Nutrition Society of Nigeria for your unwavering commitment to advancing nutrition, science, policy and practice in Nigeria. Quite a lot has been said today about the poor statistics with regards to nutrition in the country. However, under the leadership of His Excellency the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the administration is committed to transforming Nigeria's health and nutrition outcome through bold, coordinated and equity-driven reforms. The Federal Ministry of Health is working closely with states and other stakeholders to revise the poor trends that we have been discussing since morning, and key initiatives that are being implemented by the Federal Ministry of Health include integrating nutrition services into primary health care services, multiple micronutrient supplementation in the Nigerian National Essential Medicine List, and we are right now conversing with the state to do the same so that we can increase and create local environments alone. And we are advancing that there is a need for strong innovation, commitment, and strategic partnership. We need to ensure sustainable financing by domesticating our budgetary allocation. We need private sector, we need the civil society. The committee involvement is very best in nutrition innovation that are scalable, affordable, and context-specific to support local production, to strengthen data systems, and to work to the Nutrition Society of Nigeria for providing this platform for exchange learning and collective commitment. Resolutions of this 55th conference result to concrete actions that will ensure that no mother henceforth suffer malnutrition in behalf of coordinating Minister for Health and Social Welfare. I wish you fruitful deliberation, bold ideas, and strengthened partnership throughout this conference. God bless the Nutrition Society of Nigeria. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and thank you for your attention.
Very much. Please, can we welcome to please give us a round of applause to this beautiful lady here. Thank you very much, Anna. Please let's welcome to state the Coordinating Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Senator Abubakar Atiku. Please a warm round of applause for Senator Abubakar Atiku. Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abubakar Kyari, CON. Please get ready. Thank you very much.
The Chairman, Dr. Benjamin Chidinore, Your Excellency, the Vice President and Chair of the National Council of Nutrition, Dr. Kashin Shetima Chisue, ably represented by our own guest sister, Ojo, the Board of Trustees of the Nutrition Society of Nigeria, our royal fathers, distinguished members of the high table, ladies and gentlemen, please permit me to observe the established protocol. I am Clementina Okoro, the Director of Food and Nutrition in the Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning, representing the Honorable Minister of the Federal Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning, Senator Atiku Abubakar Bagogo, CON. And please, I read his remarks. It is my pleasure to welcome you to this conference, the 55th Annual General Meeting and Scientific Conference of the Nutrition Society of Nigeria Partnership for Sustainable Impact. Distinguished members of the society, as we gather here today, our conversation goes beyond nutrition as a technical subject. It is about the very foundation of our human capital, our productivity, and the future of Nigeria itself. When we talk about advancing maternal, infant, and young child nutrition, we are talking about giving every Nigerian child the best possible start in life and ensuring that the mothers are supported to nurture the next generation. This conference challenges us to embrace innovation, strengthen partnerships, and commit to financing and coordinating all that we work to our collective needs sustainably. The NNAs are the most critical weapon for building human capital with lifelong implications for learning, productivity, and inclusive growth. Our keynote speaker has already talked about the recent statistics about the storm. The choice of this year's theme by the society is indeed timely. Adequate nutrition during pregnancy is crucial for the health and well-being of both mothers and their babies. Together, let us ensure that pregnant women have access to nutrient-rich foods and essential micronutrients that can help foster their nutritional and health well-being, and to change these statistics that we all can. This is one of the most effective interventions. We must leverage strategic partnerships between government agencies, development partners, civil society organizations, and the private sector to drive meaningful change. Our collective actions can and must make a profound difference. Finally, as proud members of the Nutrition Society of Nigeria, I am confident that through our collective efforts, we can make a significant impact on maternal, infant, and young child nutrition in Nigeria. I wish you all a productive and inspiring conference. Thank you and God bless.
Welcome on stage, the representative of the Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Food. Welcome, sir. Thank you very much. Please let's not allow to we will have 1 minute. Thank you very much, sir.
His Highness, the Emir of Kano, Dr. Khalifa Sanusi Lamido II, His Majesty the Emir of Kano, representative of the Vice President, representative of the River State, Mrs Ojo, representative of the Honorable Ministers here present, the President of the National Society of Nigeria, colleagues and nutritionists in the hall. For want of time, I will not read this speech here. I will just summarize the message from the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security. Food is very important to us for nutrition. And the summary is that if you eat good food, you don't need medicine. Food is supposed to be the
medicine for our health. And the ministry is further committed to ensuring that we have access to nutritious foods. The foods should also be available and affordable. So the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the President of Bola Tinubu, and his committed minister, Senator Kari, and the member of the ministry are entirely working hard to run through programs and interventions that will ensure that all small farmers have access to inputs. Just last week on Friday, we launched free inputs to farmers in Niger State, including tractors, equipment, seeds, and fertilizer. And it will continue to be done for the other 36, including FCC. But for this very forum, where our focus is on nutrition, we have a lot of programs that have to do from the home level, homestead gardening, community gardening, school gardening, that will make sure that we sensitize our rural populace and the women in particular, who the email said it's important for them to have knowledge of nutrition. Because once the mothers are well fed, the children too will get good nutrition. And in that way, we are able to have good nutrition and improved livelihoods of our children up to when they become big. Thank you so much. This is the summary.
Please, ladies, invite on stage, representing the Honorable Minister of the Federal Ministry of Innovation, Science and Technology, Mrs Ojo. Please, a warm applause for her. Mrs. Ojo is not available right now, so please, from the oh, she's here. I'm sorry. Thank you, ma'am.
Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, ably represented by the Senior Constitutional Assistant, and to the President of Public Health, Your Royal Highnesses, distinguished members of the High Table, ladies and gentlemen, all other protocols to be observed. I bring you warm greetings from the Honorable Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology, Chief Uche Geoffrey Naji, who would have loved to be here this morning, but is unavoidably absent due to pressing official duties. He sent his warm wishes for the success of this event and has asked me to convey his full support. So you will permit me, please, to deliver his remarks as prepared for this occasion. It is my distinct honor and privilege to be here today as the special guest of honor at the opening ceremony of the 55th Annual Scientific Conference and General Meeting of the Nutrition Society of Society for its consistent commitment to advancing the frontiers of nutrition knowledge and practicing advancing maternal, infant, and young child nutrition in Nigeria. Innovation and strategic partnerships for sustainable impact is both timely and relevant of our mothers and children is a direct reflection of our nation's health, productivity, and future prosperity. United Nations Children's Fund. The country has the second highest rate of stunted children globally. Additionally, 7% of women of childbearing age in Nigeria suffer from acute malnutrition. This reality is a reminder of the urgent action needed.
Innovation, Science and Technology, thank you very much, ma'am. Please let's welcome on stage the representative of His Excellency Vice Admiral Ibo Ete-Ekwe-Ibas, the sole administrator of River State. Please, with a warm round of applause, let's welcome the representative of the sole administrator of River State. Thank you very much, ma'am.
The Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, ably represented by Mrs Ojo, Royal Fathers of the day here present, my Commissioner for Health, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, permit me to stand on already established Senior Special Advisor on Health to the Administrator, who is to have represented the Administrator, warm greetings and a warm welcome to the Treasure Base
of the nation. Let us congratulate the Nutrition Society of Nigeria, a successful scientific conference and annual general. Also, to congratulate the awardees and the inductees. Allow us also to enjoy the visitors to River State, to ensure that during the course of your AGM here, you explore the unique hospitality of the Rivers people and the culture of the treasure you will enjoy and have stories to tell when you go back home. We are delighted that, as reviewed by the keynote speaker in the MPHS, Rivers State continues to perform well in nutrition outcomes and indicators, and we commit and pledge that we will continue to advance the innovations and technologies that will ensure that our children, our pregnant women, and our young adults are well nourished. As we deliberate, we enjoin all to bring their knowledge to bear and to advance improve nutrition outcomes in all the 36 states of Nigeria and yet. Let me, on behalf of the good people of Rivers State and the government of Rivers, greet as you return to your homes after the conclusion of the AGM. God bless the Nutrition Society of Nigeria, God bless Rivers State, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Thank you so much. All right, we're moving along. From the office of the Vice President, let's welcome on stage Dr. Uju Rochas Awuka, please. A round of applause for her. Dr. Uju Rochas Awuka, from the office of the Vice President. Thank you, ma'am.
Board of Trustees, Nutrition Society of Nigeria, and Emir of Kano, His Royal Highness Khalifa Sanusi II, PhD, COM, Chairman of the occasion, my sister, Dr. Adeze Ore, immediate past Honorable Commissioner of Health, Rivers State, representative of the Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Mrs. Ladidi Bako Ayebisi, NNI, representative of the Honorable Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Mrs. Clementina Okoro, representative of the Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, and Haji Nuhu Kilishi, representative of the Honorable Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology, representative of His Excellency the Sole Administrator of Rivers State, the President, Nutrition Society of Nutrition, President, Nutrition Society of Nigeria, Professor S.N. Abubakar, FNSN, the keynote speaker, Professor Henrietta Ene Obong, His Royal Majesty, King Leslie N. KJP, and all royal fathers here present, development partners in the society organizations, fellows and members of the NSN, members of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I bring you warm greetings from my boss, His Excellency the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Kashim Shettima CON. The most fundamental need of any society is food. Not just food in abundance, but food that nourishes, sustains, and powers dreams and possibilities. No nation can get it right without a food system that is sufficient, inclusive, and built on the foundation of balanced nutrition. Lies at the very heart of our gathering here today. This year's theme, Advancing Maternal, Infant, and Young Child Nutrition, is one of the quietest yet deadliest emergencies of our time. It lurks in our homes, it lurks in our schools silently, not with the sound of gunfire, but with the quiet theft of human fertilizer, this crisis not only as a health challenge, but as a threat to the national security and economic development of our native population drags down the wheels of crises are not just medical, they are economic, social, and response. Our first action of courage is to admit that the crisis is identification is the only path to building practical, sustainable 774 initiative, a flagship initiative of the National Council of Nutrition. The federal government, under the visionary leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, a whole of government and whole of society initiative, harmonizes efforts from all nutrition collaboration and coordination across sectors and brings nutrition to the forefront of the local government action. We know this battle cannot be won in Abuja. It must be won in our states, it must be won in our local governments, and of course in our world, where the Nutrition Society of Nigeria has always been invaluable. As a lighthouse of science, a platform for professional excellence, and a convener of stakeholders who make nutrition everyone's infant and young child nutrition sustainably, three imperatives stand before us. Innovation, from fortified complementary food to digital tools that track malnutrition hotspots, we must rethink how services reach the most vulnerable and those at hardship is number two. Nutrition cannot be solved by health alone. Agriculture, education, water, sanitation and hygiene, social protection must all build on their needs over time. Resources must be used efficiently, and every naira spent must deliver measurable impact at the community level. What gives us hope is the coalition of champions that are institutions at federal and state and local government whose leadership drives coordination and policy, development partners who continue to invest resources, innovation, and technical expertise, civil society organizations who amplify community voices and hold us accountable, the private sector whose innovation in food system, fortification and distribution channels are industries and religious leaders who carry the trust of our people and shape the community acceptance of nutrition. Our academia who generates the science and evidence that guide intervention. These broad coalitions put business as one sector alone. It is a collaborative, collective responsibility, and it is also and it's only through this kind of synergy that Nigeria can achieve sustainable development and engagement. This conference is not just another meeting, it is a call to action, a summons to innovation, a demand for partnership, and above all, a reminder that nutrition is the most powerful investment we can make in the future of our nation, Nigeria. Let me at this point commend and congratulate the Nutrition Society of Nigeria for sustaining over 5 decades of leadership and scholarship in this field. Collaborations and set us firmly on the path to a more nourished and more protective Nigeria. Thank you, and may God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
From the Office of the Sole Administrator of Real Estate. Please a round of applause for her again. A round of applause for her again. Thank you very much. With the Office of the Vice President, yes, thank you very much, ma'am. So please, before we continue, we would like to apologize because we are unable to take all the good messages from our party here present with your good messages. I have some good messages here from Zamfara State University, Tamata. I have good messages from the Federal Polytechnic, Zamfara State, Nigeria. I have good messages from the Dietitians Association of Nigeria. We would also like to acknowledge the association present here, the IDN, the DAN, if you're there, please a round of applause. The IDN, the DAN, and
released. We also like to acknowledge the West African Society for Parental and Enteral Nutrition, WASPN. Thank you very much. And please, if you have your Google messages, you can submit it so we can do proper documentation. Please, if you have your Google messages written, you can communicate to us and submit to us so we can properly document them. So once again, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. So right now we're going to have some music into it. So a round of applause as we have music into it. Thank you very much. Ladies, thank you very much. Moving forward, I would like to acknowledge the Association of Health Practitioners of Nigeria. Please, if they are here, can you just wave your hands? The Association of Community Health Practitioners of Nigeria. Are they here? Give you a high level. Thank you. We recognize your presence here. Thank you very much. Some students of different secondary schools participated in a debate, and these are some of the schools that participated and emerged. Wisdom Child International Secondary School Board, I don't know if they're represented here. Trustee International, Abu Patakat, Cornerstone International School, are they here? Alright. It's not an easy feat. They participated in the NSN ADF Nutrition 2025 debate hosted by Aliko Dangote Foundation and the Nutrition Society of Nigeria. So we have finalists, Easy Ambassador Celeste Yebichi AK. Please let's give him a warm applause. Thank you, sir.
I need to go to I'm not getting
The very eminent traditional ruler here present, Emir of Kano, the beautiful Dr. Adeze, already chairman, and everybody that represents everybody. The president of this wonderful association, and the professors that went to the airport with me, I greet everybody in Jesus' name. I want to congratulate the organization formed since 1963. They have done so much. Formed at the University of Ibadan. That was where this organization started. And they've been doing their best to promote nutrition and other food-related areas, advocating for policies that enhance nutrition and food security. I was telling the president as we were coming back from the airport that in spite of all that we are doing, we still have some issues about nutrition, as you've heard from the keynote speaker, from the Emir of Kano. There's still troubling issues that still remain. And I know the reasons the president was telling me could be some of the reasons why these problems persist. Amongst them, conflict and insecurity that pervade Nigeria. Encounter of hardship occasioned by government policies. With the consequences of malnutrition. Well, I want to urge you on the nutrition sector of Nigeria. I want to urge you on continue in your work, in your advocacy, and everything else that you do through your members. One day, Nigeria will catch up. Our people will be liberated. And then life expectancy will improve. Thank you very much, and God bless you all.
Thank you very much, Thank you very much, sir. Please let's welcome on stage the Vice President for the award session, Dr. Emir Ali. The award applause for her, the Vice President. Thank you very much, sir.
Allah ya taimake sarki, Allah ya ƙara zamanin sarki, Allah ya kare ka daga sharri masu sharri and already existing of truth. The moment of social recognition to those that have contributed enormously to our society and to humanity. They are Honorable Chike Okafo, House Committee Member on Nutrition and Food Security. Mrs Ojo, Rochas Walker, Senior Special Assistant to the President of Public Health. Please, a round of applause for them. Dr. Emeka Vitalis Obi, Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Petroleum Resources. Mrs. Ladi Kulwaba Oyebusi, Director and Head of Nutrition, Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare. Last but not the least, Dr. Sanyo Panyon, retired Director, Social Development Department of Budget, Minister of Budget and Economic Planning. I don't want to leave one person out, and that person is also very special. Alhaji Kilishi. So this is for their endless commitment in advancing nutrition in Nigeria. 3 of them are presently to present Mrs. Ojo Rochas Mohammed to receive her certificate. May I welcome Professor Bride, B.I. Bride, to present the certificate.
Considering society, we have to look for moral leadership. And what it states that a distinguished person will be elected as honorary member of society who will be of the council. He or she is in the position to contribute to the ends and objectives of the society. So this society being recognized today, is in the opinion of the Council of the Senate of Nigeria that they contribute to our objectives and aims. Of course, the first recipient, we know what she's doing across the country, especially with the N774 program. So on behalf of the society, on behalf of the council and members of the society, I present this membership certificate to you. Congratulations.
Mrs. Ladi Kulwa Oyebusi, Fawasi Afolabi, to present the certificate.
We are distinguished ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Council of the Nutrition Society of Nigeria, it is my pleasure to present this certificate of honorary membership and the constitution of the society to Mrs. Ladidi Bakwayo Serenai. Congratulations.
So last but not the least, I want to call on Alhaji Nuhu Adamu Kilishi. Permit me to call Professor Folake Samuel to present the certificate.
Deepest pleasure and honor to present this certificate on behalf of the Council of the Nutrition Society of Nigeria to Alhaji Nuhu Adamu Kilishi, a distinguished man of agric and nutrition, all rolled into one. Thank you very much for all that you do. Thank you, sir.
Congratulations to everyone. God bless you. On our own, a mother of nutrition, a mentor, a woman of substance, a woman who is very passionate about nutrition, a woman who has contributed, who has done her best in the area of nutrition in Nigeria and globally. The entire family of Nutrition Society of Nigeria, the executive candidates you on your election as a council member of the International Union of Nutritional Sciences. Ma, we are very proud of you. I don't want to call name first. We are very, very proud of you, and every one of us here is very, very proud of you. In addition to that, she is also here to receive an award on NSM Lifetime Achievement Award. Please clap for her, the President of the Nutrition Society of Nigeria.
Well, it's awesome that I was beside Professor Ojo now, who are only calling her my only waiting. She will tell me my only waiting. But this time I was also taking me. So I want to congratulate you on behalf of the council, the team of fellows, members of Nutrition Society Nigeria, present this Lifetime Achievement Award to very distinguished African nutritionists, very distinguished scientists, very distinguished product, well-trained, well of women of valor. This award represents just a tip of the iceberg. Congratulations.
celebrate his 80th birthday this year and simple of life and strength, contributing to the society. I'm inviting Mommy because there's many other because there are new ones around. Robertino and some new ones. We want people to help us do this on behalf of the society to celebrate this 80th birthday of Professor Atimu. He was with us at the party with us 1 month ago to tell you how active he is. It's not only coming to Nigerian events, but also keep going to all the nutrition events around the world, contributing by his knowledge and experience to the development and practice of nutrition all over the world. He has been the first bee on the Highness for us. So we are not saying his attention, but just celebrating his life. God will appreciate you, sir, for all that you have done to do.
May I start on already established protocol? I am so excited to be called to perform this assignment. Some time ago, a very long time ago, Professor Timo looked at me and said, I saw a crown on your head. And I said, what are you talking about? He said, well, you will see it. And when the time came, the crown he saw on my head turned out to be the presidency of the Nutrition Society of Nigeria. So he had seen it before it even happened. So I'm very happy to do this. So we want to tap on the blessing that God has given you. I hope we will be alive to be celebrated at 80. Just like we are celebrating Professor Atimu today. So on behalf of the Council of the Nutrition Society and members of the Nutrition Society of Nigeria, I want to present Professor Emeritus Atimu, yes, and my predecessor as the President of the Nutrition Society of Nigeria. We wish you many, many more years staying with us and contributing your quota, even if you are advanced to the Nutrition Society. God bless you.
As well as the General Secretary of the Nutrition Society of Nigeria, existing members of the Board of the Trustee of Nutrition Society of Nigeria, Board of Trustees, the executives of the NSN, membership committee of the NSN set up to process applicants that applied. 372 applicants were successful and has been orientated for induction today. Permit me to welcome Dr. Oluwaseun Maria, the National General Secretary, to carry out the votes of induction.
Please stand. Pledging to be sincere and honest and bearing allegiance to the Nutrition Society of Nigeria. I also pledge to practice my profession with the fear of God and true service to humanity. So help me God. I hereby call upon the President of the Nutrition Society of Nigeria, Professor Sanusi Lamido II, to admit these set as members of the Nutrition Society of Nigeria.
the chairman, His Highness, and the chair of the board of trustees, every one of you, to respective membership of either full member, associate member, or student member of the society. I implore you to be good ambassadors of the Nutrition Society of Nigeria. You are most welcome, and you are not new as you are now members. You are members. Congratulations. I'm just very minded to implore you to take your membership seriously. Your commitment as nutritionists is guided by ethics. So let us be sure that wherever we work professionally within the ethics of the practice of nutrition. We have nutritionists that are registered in Nigeria and are able to practice all over the world. One other important thing is when you are created as a professional member of the society, it's a mandate that you have to maintain your professional membership through annual subscription. You all are under the constitution of the society. One of the important things is every year you are expected to pay your annual contributions in Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Congratulations to all of you. Please do the whole round of applause for yourself. Congratulations. Please take your seats. Please take your seats. Congratulations to every one of you. Thank you very much, sir. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, showing the gratitude for all of us, she, our owners, and our message for the vote of thanks. Professor Ogechi Nzabu, please, a round of applause for her. Thank you very much.
On this great occasion, the BOT chairman of Nutrition Society of Nigeria, the vice president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, ably represented by Dr. Uju, all the royal fathers present, here present. I have a singular honor this afternoon to appreciate all of us members that are in this hall. Please, wherever you are, start coming up to this place. These are the people that made tirelessly working every other day. On the internet, we are working this month so that people will see the people that staked everything in them to succeed, that will succeed in this conference. We are having online meetings regularly. It was only on Sunday we had physical meetings. I want to appreciate, as we appreciate our leaders, our dignitaries, our royal family, I also want to appreciate these men and women who gave me every support to ensure we succeeded. Without them, this conference would not have been the way you're saying. So we want to appreciate them and appreciate all of us that are sitting over there who also not have had a wonderful time. So we want to say, may the Lord, who saw us through, continue to bless all of us, and long live Nutrition Society of Nigeria. Long live the Federal Republic of Nigeria. May the Lord continue to move us forward. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's been a wonderful time. Thank you, my people, my people. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Central Organizing Committee. Please let's give them a warm round of applause.
Thank you so much.
Sleepless nights for them in real estate. Chairman of the occasion, Dr. Adeze Shimo. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
The Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Royal Highness the Emir of Kano, honorable ministers here represented, state government represented, His Royal Majesty, and royal fathers who are here, presidents, fellows, awardees, and members of the Nutrition Society of Nigeria, members of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. As we close the ceremony this afternoon, there are a few points that I wish to bring to our remembrance from the presentations and the speeches at today's opening ceremony. The first is we don't suffer for a lack of nutrition plans or programs in Nigeria. Real-time data and a multi-sectoral whole-of-society approach are critical to meeting the nutritional needs of women from conception to the postpartum period, wherever they are, from the creeks of Biye in River State to the hinterlands of Binji in Sokoto State. While we are desirous of innovation, an emphasis on continuity guarantees the relegation of prevalent malnutrition amongst mothers, infants, and young children to the past. I therefore charge us all to commit to targeted efforts that are strategic, concerted, collaborating, and community-centered, as these will bring about the true sustainable transformation that we seek towards advancing maternal, infant, and young child nutrition in Nigeria. On that note, it is my pleasure, and in keeping with my assignment as chairman of this opening ceremony, to declare the opening ceremony of the 55th Annual General Meeting and Scientific Conference of the Nutrition Society of Nigeria closed. God bless the Nutrition Society of Nigeria. God bless our beloved River State, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you all.
We'd like to have two photographs, please. If you've gotten a shot, please let's give room for other people to get on stage and take your photos. Please. Immediately after the photographs, please, we have debate from the school. And you can have the debate 2025 immediately after the photographs.
I'm one of the inductees, and I feel so excited being inducted into the Nutrition Society of Nigeria. I'm so excited, I don't know how to express my joy, and I'm grateful to the organizers of this program because they did an amazing job, and we thank God for everything.
I'm very happy to be an inductee of the NSN. I've been looking forward to this very opportunity ever since. But due to money constraints, and that is why I'm not able to do it. But for now, it's certainly very important for one to be inducted as an NSN member, so that it gives one opportunity to really show his progress in the life of nutrition and to better the life of mother and children in society.
Can I have lunch?
Ladies, respected judges, students, deputy teachers, and our vibrant audience. And I want to welcome you all to the grand finale of this Nutrition Society of Nigeria and Ali Global Foundation Nutrition Week. Two outstanding senior secondary schools in River State. Over the past days, we have witnessed a rich exchange of ideas, intellectual rigor, and useful passion as our debaters explore the notion nutrition education should be made a core subject in secondary school. The debate activity started with a pre-debate mock on 9th of September 2025. This was to ensure that the school ICT and teachers are well guided in preparation for the debate topic and for the smooth running of the activity. Engagement as the participants sharpen their reasoning and challenge one another constructively. Day 2, which is the semi-final, took place on 13th of September 2025. Day 1 to day 2 are done virtually. They are not physical, it's online debates. So day 2 took place on 13th of September 2025. The schools debated on the topic teaching children eating habits is the responsibility of parents and not schools. As we stepped into that semi-final, the competition became very tough and the arguments more refined. Hearing what constructed arguments, balanced perspectives, and respective exchanges as the debaters engaged with this topic. With the main topic, which is nutrition education, should be a core subject in secondary schools. We are celebrating not just competition, but also learning. Our young debaters have demonstrated when given a platform, they can lead meaningful conversation on issues that affect our future. So these debaters underscore an important truth. Nutrition is not just about food, it is about knowledge, choices, and the well-being of generations to come.
Based on balance, the Trustee International School will be proposing the motion, while Wisdom International School will oppose the motion. The first speaker has just 5 minutes to make a presentation. The first speaker from each side, you have 5 minutes to make a presentation. After which, the second speaker has 3 minutes to support what the first speaker has said and for any rebuttals. Then the last speaker will come up to tell us why you will be the winning school and why we will roll the carpet for you. So that will be by way of summary, just summarize your key points. We have an accurate timekeeper and incorruptible judges here who are going to rate you. And your score will be based on average of the scores of the judges, so you are fine. The Trustee International School to come forward, the first speaker to come forward and propose the motion on nutrition education should be made a core subject in secondary school at once. Please come forward. Can we put our hands together for me?
Politically consequential and educationally balanced to make nutrition education a focal point in the school curriculum. Isn't that the goal of contention? Of course it is. But before I do intellectual justice to this thought-provoking topic, let me prove that I'm not lost my mind and simply do the needful. This day was articulate moderator, efficient panel of judges, most accurate timekeeper, my co-debaters and wonderful audience. My name is Gabriela Chama, and I represent Trustee International. I am proposing the motion that states nutrition education should be made a core subject in secondary school. Firstly, we redefine our traditional values for what defines the female child. I repeat, we redefine our traditional values. Mr. Moderator, help me to remind my opponents and the audience that Africa has lost the joy of womanhood to modern education that makes a woman or girl child feel she's not made for the kitchen. Let's not deceive ourselves. How many mothers have successfully transferred the cooking culture of nutritional components to their female child? The ratio is 2 to 8. Do you now see why nutrition education should make a core subject in secondary schools? Believe it or take it, if nutrition education is made a core subject in secondary schools, our girl child will be better wife who can keep and nourish their husband. As the saying goes, she who cooks good food controls her husband's heart and owns his woman. Beloved wives and mothers in the audience, am I making sense? Of course I am. Arguably, not making sure education of core subject secondary school is responsible for the fragment of divorce cases when the wife is being blamed for not being able to cook. Secondly, if nutrition education is made a core subject in secondary school, it will strike a balance in health education. Let's not forget, health is wealth. In case you're wondering how, let me bust your bubble. Nutrition as a The last straw to break the camel's back is employment opportunities. In secondary school, students are starting with the aim of entrepreneurship, with the aim of teaching them valuable skills to help them with employment. Mr. Moderator, permit me to ask my opponent a question. Can a girl with no basic nutrition education skills be hired as a chef in a company? I think the silence has no for an answer. Therefore, I put it to you that nutrition education should remain a core subject in secondary school and should bring out the professions our boys and girls and make them employers of labor. Ask your Philabasi, who won the Guinness World Record for longest speaking time and brought an interesting category for largest number of clothes. With this important and most well-articulated points of mine, I don't have much of these answers, but with simplicity, I have established that nutrition education should remain a core subject in secondary schools. Thank you.
I think we will need to centralize this question. That's from Wisdom International School.
Impartial panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, co-debaters, and of course my wonderful audience. My name is Azekwe Mandela, and I'm standing before you today to oppose the proposition that says nutrition education should be added as a core subject in secondary schools. But before I proceed, I would like to define what nutrition education is. Nutrition education can be defined as a subject that gives individuals the knowledge they need to adopt and maintain a healthy eating habit. I strongly believe that nutrition education should not be added as a core subject in secondary schools, and I have the following points to back up my argument. 1. Overcrowded curriculum and lack of qualified teachers. Adding a new core subject such as nutrition education to the school curriculum will further increase the burden of students by overcrowding their curriculum, thereby leaving less time for more important subjects such as math, physics, chemistry, biology, etc. people to get qualified and competent teachers who will be able to give the students the appropriate knowledge they need to know about their nutrition. 2. Finance and cost subjects to the school curriculum will be very expensive, and so if the government and schools do not have the appropriate means of financing, then the students will suffer intellectually in that area. Let me ask my opponents and co-debaters and also my audience a question. How many government schools have you seen or been to that have appropriate and standardized now for the course of which the students are offering nowadays? Not to mention the lackadaisical approach of teachers to their subjects and also to their students. So you see, if the government wants to effectively and efficiently add a new core subject to the school curriculum, they will spend lots of money to employ qualified and competent teachers who will be able to give the students appropriate knowledge they need. They will also need to build standardized labs and structures to facilitate the subject. 3. Exposure versus a child to have basic knowledge of nutrition. It is not necessary for it to be studied as a standalone subject, let alone a core subject in secondary schools, as it is integrated into other subjects such as biology, which has to do with man and nutrition, agri, which has to do with crop and nutrition, home economics, which is also related to nutrition, and PhD, which has to do with physical fitness. Looking at me, my opponent, judges, co-debaters, and audience, do I look like I studied nutrition education in my secondary school? No! But as you can see, I am still well-grounded in the area of nutrition, and I also look very healthy. Statistics show that Nigeria has only about 60% of teachers and less than 10% are certified nutritionists. So I ask again my audience, co-debaters and judges, who are those to teach the students the subject they need if it was to be added as a core subject in secondary schools? Of course, use with nutrition education gives you a poor man or a hungry man who does not have the finances to back up nutrition. The poor man will not be concerned about eating a balanced diet, rather he will be concerned about satisfying his hunger. You see, the problem of Nigeria is not about implementing a new core subject to the school curriculum. It is to use what you already have to create great students and great minds who will be able to take the country to the next level.
2 minutes more.
The issue of parental responsibility also plays a major role in this area, as children in secondary schools are ranging from ages 9 to 15 years and are still regarded as minors under their parents. So instead of adding nutrition education as a core subject to secondary schools, they should focus on the parents by organizing conferences and conventions that will enable parents know the importance of nutrition in their child's life. The issue of cultural diversity is also there, as different people have different dietary practices. And parents are also the people that are responsible for their children's diet. Because whether you like it or not, it is what my parents do that I'll eat. But my audience, is it not what you cook for your children that your children will eat? I take your answer and your silence as a yes. So you see, with this cogent, competent, unshakable, unchangeable, competent voice of mine, I know, in fact, I am very sure that I've been able to pull the bull by the horn and roll the red carpet for my opponent, judges, co-debaters, and everyone here to join my campaign that nutrition education should not and never be added to the core subject in secondary schools. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's put our hands together again. On that note, I would like to invite the second speaker from Trustee International School. Support the first speaker, and if there are refuttals, you can take it now.
We can give the big discussion. If the national philosophy of our Nigerian
and the curriculum is designed to accommodate entrepreneurship subjects. Then they call to say that nutrition education should be made a core subject in secondary school. Good day, the moderator of this debate, the honorable panel of judges adjudicating this debate, the timekeeper, conscious of the time, wonderful co-debaters, the audience, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. I am Utakini Sokiala and I am from Christian Hall International, and I'm here to speak in favor of the proposed motion that nutrition education should be the core subject in secondary school with the following points. Intentional direction for the aim of our education planning. Education is to tell you that learning cannot be said to have taken place if there is no permanent change in the behavior of the learner. And this is the behaviorist theory. If this is true, how then do you know if a child has learned nutritional science and dietary, which is a part of nutritional education, if not by making it a core subject? It would be ridiculous for my opponents or anybody to think that nutritional education is the same as nutritional science and kitchen management. Because we are discussing formal education, which is well planned in curriculum and skill. The only way to obtain the complete package of our entrepreneur subject is by making nutrition education a core. After all, no company wants to employ a professional without a certificate. It's not done anywhere. Secondly, the importance of food and nutrition should not be overlooked if you want to produce an all-round secondary school graduate who become a good housewife, a home manager, a kitchen expert, and a health therapist. Ask every successful mother or wife seated here and they will tell you that I'm on point. My mothers, am I speaking your mind? Mr. Moderator, it's a known fact that the feminist consciousness in every young secondary school learner is what drives her to a self-fulfilled life. And guess what? This fulfilled life is what empowers her as a nutritionist entrepreneur. And it is deeply rooted into the curriculum, which says that nutrition education should be made a core subject in secondary school. It beats my imagination. Even anyone argue that an important subject such as nutrition education should not be made a core subject. And I wonder, aren't we in the 21st century? Is a certificate not a proof of experience gained? With my full chest, I strongly advocate that all male students should take advantage of the notion that nutrition education should be made a core subject in secondary school because it grants job opportunities. And as a bachelor, it also helps you to manage your diet and master your kitchen science. Strongly believe that I have not just the notion that nutrition education should be made a core subject in secondary school. Mr. Moderator, the panel of judges, accurate timekeepers, my fellow co-debaters, at this juncture, I take a bow and rest my case. Thank you so much.
Senior student of Muslim Child International School, and I stand before you today to firmly oppose the motion which states that nutrition should be a core subject in secondary schools with my fellow for research. Making nutrition a core subject in secondary schools creates room for research, thus motivating students to seek deeper knowledge and improving their personal study, boosting creativity and discipline. This promotes critical thinking rather than spoon-feeding all the nutritional information the student needs, which makes students lazy and not diligent, and in effect prepares them for university, as most lecturers come to class, take a topic and ask the students to create their own notes about the topic. But with the critical thinking skills the students have been able to tell, education is not all about how many core subjects you cram or fit into the timetable, but how much creativity and initiative you can inspire in students. Furthermore, smarter approaches can be adopted rationale. I listened to my opponents arguing against the motion, and I hope the God will provoke the Nutritional Society of Nigeria will start putting effort to make sure that the Nutritional Society is giving the right attention to help the
Trustee of Wisdom International School to come and give us a summary.
My name is Khalifa Sanusi Lamido II, and I'm here to summarize all that my co-debaters have said. My judges, opponents, co-debaters, and the audience, let's be practical for once in our lifetime. The problem is not about implementing any core subject in society. That's not the problem. The problem is, can they finance and effectively manage the institution? And we all know that the answer is no. Because the government, in as much as they try, they will not be able to reach all the areas that require this necessity that they need to make nutrition education a core subject in secondary school. My opponent here said that adding nutrition education as a core subject in secondary school can combat malnutrition in children. But let me tell you something. The diet of children are solely based on their parents, and children are still minors, so we cannot make decisions for ourselves. So instead of this to be added as a core subject in secondary school, they should focus on the parents by enlightening the parents and teaching them on the importance of giving us and teaching us healthy education. Should not, and I repeat, should not and never be added as a core subject in secondary schools. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Outcome of the debate. While we do that, we will just have.
We are all but winners. In the assessment, we looked at your organization and your clarity of thoughts. We looked at the use of constructive arguments. We also looked at the use of cross-examination and rebuttal. We also looked at your presentation style. We also looked at your grooming and your dress code. And I want to say you're all looking beautiful. Please appreciate them for me once again. Before I declare, I want you to take home some few points. There is need for you anytime you are engaging in similar activity in future. Be calm and continually clear in your conversation. Can you hear me very well? There's need for you to connect with the audience. The use of very excellent quotes to drive home relevant points, and then the need for you to use appropriate research data to support your point. But just one person, we go with the big trophy. Bigger, biggest. We have our amiable international school. It's time to make the presentation of the third place prize. Change them.
I'd like to use this opportunity to say a very big thank you to the NSN and the Dangote Foundation. We really appreciate it. Thank you and God bless.
To declare. The total mark is 20. A score of 70 over 20. And another score of 18.2 over 20. You can see that it's close. So, DJ, give us a music of celebration.